One Friday fight. No, it's not Friday fight. It's Friday night. Okay. 3, 2, 1, and one Friday night 25. Nicolas versus Eersel 2 takes place this Saturday at 2 a.m. South African time. Will the Immortal get his title back or will Nicolas remain supreme? All of this and more in Fighting with Friends. Oh, welcome back to the CPS Reports, and we are back with another episode of Fighting with Friends. This week, we are going to be reporting on Friday night 25, one championship, Nicolas versus Eersel 2. And yes, as you can see, I am alone today. The panel isn't with me, unfortunately, but they will be back when we're doing our recap. So I'll be doing my breakdown and predictions of this fight card alone. It is a massive fight card filled with a ton of extremely good fighters. So I will be reporting on most of them. So bear with me. I will take my time, but also be quite swiftly if I can get it through as swiftly as possible. So let me start from right from the top and pull that up on the screen over there. The main event sees Alexis Nicolas versus Regian Eersel, and this is a rematch. And the first fight was absolutely amazing. Both guys came to show up. Alexis Nicolas he's 2-0 in the one championship. He obviously beat Regian Eersel in his last fight to become the current lightweight champion. Previously beating Magomedov by unanimous decision. Cool thing about Nicolas is that he's quite an active fighter. He's got a very nice tight guard in kickboxing. This is a kickboxing match as well. So he's got a very nice tight guard. And I was quite surprised in how he held his own in that fight against Regian Eersel. So I thought Regian Eersel was going to be very much of the guy that's going to hold the title for quite some time because he hasn't lost for quite some time. He beat the who's who 10-1 in the one championship, only losing that one fight against Alexis Nicolas. 3 wins by KO. And also, like I said, 10-fight winning streak, beating Sinsamut twice, Nicky Holskin twice, Dmitry Menshikov. Like he's just the guy. The list goes on and on. And if you know Regian Eersel and look at some of his highlight results in the one championship, you'll see what kind of fight he is. Strikes from both stances, very good off the switch knee, power in both hands, got good boxing, good deep kicks, uses his length really well. High pace, high volume. I think he's got a striking differential of 3.8 significant strikes per minute. So he's moving laterally forward and striking off every single step. Pushes the volume, pushes the pace. But Nicolas just had the counter for that in the fight in the first one. He was able to navigate sort of the volume of Regian Eersel, but also he had Alexis Nicolas had the power advantage because he dropped Regian, and once he dropped him, it was pretty much though Eersel was trying to push the pace and get the pressure going. Nicolas just had the way to counter with his right hand quite often. But I do think that it could have been either way. In terms of that first fight, it could have gone to either one. That's how close it was. What's the difference in this fight? The onus is pretty much on Regian Eersel. He's got to do the difference, right? Because he lost the first one, so he's got to come in here and have a different game plan. But what does he do differently in this fight? Because he didn't really do anything wrong in the first one other than getting dropped. I felt like he was pushing the pace, like I said. I think in this fight, got to do more or less of the same. Watch out for that right hand counter, especially for the step back right counter from Alexis Nicolas. But I think if Regian Eersel utilizes his deep kicks to start off his combinations and maybe keep Alexis at bay and not necessarily shoot or rush to sort of get the knockdown back whenever he got knocked down. Be patient with his combinations because he does have the advantage in terms of speed, length, and also the experience. So it's a very, very compelling fight because, like I said, Alexis won the first one, and it wasn't like he was dropped by any shape or form from Regian. He held his own. So very, very intriguing fight. I'm going to tip my prediction. I'm going to give it towards Regian Eersel. I think he's going to come back, especially after taking the loss. I think he's going to have more. He's going to have more to correct, whereas Nicolas just has to pretty much do what he did the last time. And if anything changes, let's see what his in-fight game management will be like. In-fight management will be like. But Regian Eersel is going to be the one that I think he's going to come out victorious in this fight. I don't know if he's going to get a stoppage. He's probably going to do it over 5 rounds and win by unanimous decision. I think he's just going to use his experience to navigate Alexis over that 5 rounds. Let me know in the comments what you think about that fight. It's very, very, very compelling. But we will move on, ladies and gentlemen, to the co-main event. We have my guy Kongthoranee taking on Tagir Khalilov, and this is also quite an interesting fight because um, I think Tagir poses quite a good resume, good experience. Very much a gamer when it comes to the hands and the kicks, and also just having the experience and being there with someone like Nakrab, Superlek, Dennis Puric, and Radzuan, and these are all top of the high echelon of the flyweight division. And he held his own against them, even though he took losses. He fought against them really well. Um, very high volume kind of striker. He has differential of 6.69 significant strikes per minute. That is very active. Beating Dodlik Pet in his last fight by split decision and Black Panther by KO. His record is 3 wins, 4 losses, but still, like I said, those 4 losses came into the hands of very elite strikers. What I see happening in this fight, I think Kongthoranee coming into it with 8 wins, 2 losses, 3 wins by KO, 4 significant strikes per minute, which is also very active. He was on a 7-fight winning streak before losing to the main guy, Superlek, in his last fight by unanimous decision. Kongthoranee is also powerful fighter. He got heavy leg kicks, good boxing combination, good teep kicks, but he also knows how to switch stances quite actively and also fire from both stances. You look from the body kick when he's fighting from southpaw, and when he's fighting orthodox, he utilizes very good boxing combinations and teep kicks over there. I think the power advantage is going to be in Kongthoranee's favor. Speed advantage in Tagir, but I do think that Kongthoranee is going to be able to win the fight over the course of the 3 rounds. He's probably going to have to survive the first round because I think Tagir's going to come out fast, try and push the pace, try and dominate, assert his dominance. But I think Kongthoranee will be able to be durable enough and conditioned enough to survive that, and then be ahead of the game in round 2 and round 3. You look to push the pace in round 2 and possibly finish it in round 3. Very likely to finish the fight in round 3. But that's a fantastic co-main event for the card. Looking forward to that one as well. Let me know in the comments what you think about that results. I think Kongthoranee is on his way up. It's a bit unfortunate that he took the loss against Superlek in his last fight, but it was a very good fight. I mean, he didn't get stopped, and he kind of held his own. I think he just didn't push forward enough. He was very much on the back foot. So in this fight, I definitely would think he should push the pace by being in the front foot and not allowing Tagir to be the one that's gonna get off first. Because if he lands first and sort of gets his combinations going first, Kongthoranee might be on the back foot for the remainder of that fight. He could possibly lose by decision, but he always has the power advantage over there, and it can always be a big game changer. So I think Kongthoranee, with the power advantage, is probably going to get the stoppage in round 3, possibly body shots or an elbow for in KO. But I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What you think about that one? We move on. The next fight takes place in the bantamweight division. This is Muay Thai. We have John Lineker fighting against Alexis Balyko. And funny thing is that John Lineker literally just fought like a month ago, very recently. Excuse me. But he's got a very good resume, obviously fighting in the UFC, coming out there as a bantamweight champion in MMA. Was also former the MMA champion in the One Championship. His record currently stands at 7 wins, 2 losses, and 1 no contest. 5 wins by TKO, OKO. Also, not necessarily a very active striker, but a very powerful striker, like we always say. He's been in there with the who's who, only losing to Shenya Oki and Fabricio Andrade, and those were obviously those unfortunate ones for him. But recently he fought against Asate Power and had a fantastic knockout display in that one. And we know the power advantage of John Lineker. We know how fast his hands are. The hands of Stone is for real. He knocks people out every time he goes in there. Bad intentions with his hooks. Would love to see him utilize more leg kicks, but this is particularly Muay Thai, so people are not taking him down. So he's obviously going to rely on his hands, but if he's up against someone faster who moves a little bit better, he might come up short. Alexey is powerful. His record in the One Championship is currently standing at 3 wins, 1 loss, 0 no contest, 2 wins by KO. Also very much a high significant strikes per minute at 2.7. So he's also pretty active. He's taller, so he's going to have the height advantage in this fight. I look to see him utilize teep kicks, possibly calf kicks as well. Because he has the longer hands, he might have an advantage with the sharper strikes, going straight instead of coming up from the hooks like John Lineker does. I want to say John Lineker to win, obviously, because we like to support the Brazilian fighters out here in the CPS reports. But I do think he's up against someone that's going to be quite a big puzzle for him because these Russian guys got very good boxing, and I think the length advantage is going to be a big factor in this one. I think Alexey is also going to be one to put on the pace because he is the one that's more active in terms of getting on his bike in the rounds, being more volume striker, just pushing the pace, not going second, always going first. I think he might get John Lineker on the back foot and probably piece him up over the course of the 3 rounds and possibly, like Kongthoranee, get the finish in the 3rd round. But let's go. John Lineker, let's go. I believe in the hands of stone. I think he's got the power advantage. It just takes one punch to knock anyone out, and that could possibly happen. But I do think Alexey's going to be the puzzle here. And yeah, let's see if I get this one right. I think Alexey Balyko is probably going to get the 1 year, get the W. Let me know in the comments what you think about that one. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We move on, and I can't wait to report on this fight because we have Bokang Masunyane taking on Mansur Malachiev in a strawweight MMA bout. And Bokang is out of South Africa. Top guy. He fought in the EFC for quite some time. Moved over to the One Championship. His record in the One Championship is currently 4 wins, 1 loss, and 0 no contest. 1 win by KO. Also got a significant striking per minute range of 1.6 strikes per minute. His last fight, he beat Kaito Yamakita by unanimous decision. Also beat fighters like Hiroba Minowa, who's also highly ranked in the strawweight division, by unanimous decision. What can I say about this one? Bokang only took 1 loss, and that was against the who I think should be the champion in Jared Brooks, excuse me. And that was an interesting fight. Obviously, he got tapped out in that one. But I do think that Bokang is the guy to pose the good threat against Jared Brooks in this strawweight division. I think he is the future champ. He just needs to obviously watch out for that extreme aggressive wrestling by the monkey god in Jared Brooks. But in this fight, they're going up against Mansur. I think Mansur is no slouch either. His record in the One Championship is currently 2 wins, 1 loss, and 0 no contest. 1 win by submission, beating Yosuke Saruta by unanimous decision and Jeremy Miado by sub, only losing to Joshua Pashio by unanimous decision, who is the former champion. So, how do I think this fight plays out? We could see an extreme wrestling match in this one, or we could see that Mansur is probably going to look to try and get the hands going and put the pace on, because he is a slightly taller fighter. I don't know if he's got the speed advantage. I don't think anyone got the speed advantage when they're fighting against Bokang. But Mansur is definitely going to have the length and size advantage. He's going to look to probably use that size to navigate the wrestling exchanges against Bokang. Bokang, again, he's no slouch on the wrestling. That's pretty much where he does his bread and butter. It's where he's most dangerous at. So we could see a fight with this guys rolling for 15 minutes, and the one who just dominates the wrestling exchanges is probably going to get the win. I don't see Bokang getting a knockout here, to be quite honest, but I do see him potentially being the more dominant wrestler in this fight. So I'm going to go with Bokang getting the job done over the 3 rounds by unanimous, probably split decision. I'm going to say split decision because I do think Mansur is probably will most likely get a round on Bokang. But this is a title eliminator. So the one who's winning here is most likely going to get the champion next, or probably get the number 1 contender spot. We'll have to see what happens when Joshua Pashio comes back. But let's go, Bokang. Do it for the South Africans. But we move on. Also, let me know in the comments what you think about that fight. That's quite intriguing. That I could be set up for a title shot next for one of those guys. But let's move on the list. We have Sinsamut Klinmee taking on Youssef Assouik. This fight is taking place in lightweight Muay Thai, and Youssef, can't say much about the gentleman. This is his One Championship debut, but I'm pretty sure he's got a high level pace. A lot of these guys coming out of Morocco fight at a very high level type of kickboxing. So I'm looking forward to see that, because that's the kind of style that pretty much beats Sinsamut if you look at his losses in the One Championship. But Sinsamut comes in at the advantage of coming from middleweight down, making it all the way down to lightweight. His record in One Championship currently stands at 4 wins, 3 losses, and 0 no contests. 3 wins by KO, 75% finishing rate. He's very much a powerful striker. 4 significant strikes per minute, so he's quite active. He looks for deep kicks, looks for leg kicks. He loves looking for leg kicks. And then obviously, once the fighter's legs are done, we look for Sinsamut to look for that dynamite right hand. He's got very good boxing combinations. He beat Nicky Holskin by KO. Liam Nolan was also a very good Muay Thai practitioner by KO. Lost to the former champ in Regian Eersel twice, one by split decision and one by KO. But I do think that the power advantage is most likely going to be in Sinsamut's favor here. He's definitely the bigger guy coming down. I don't think this fight playing out. I think Sinsamut's going to get it done by KO. He's probably going to get it done in the round 2. That's where he's most dangerous. If it goes past the second round, then I'm a bit worried because Sinsamut has historically, we have seen him get tired and gassed out when the fight goes further than the second round. So I'm fearful about. Hopefully, he gets that sorted out and he's got a lot more stamina to go further. Because we do know that the power is, he doesn't have to do anything about that. That's he got that unlocked. So, how do I see the fight ending? I'm going to say second round knockout or TKO by Sinsamut. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep it moving. Okay, this bout I think is not on the main event, main card. So this bout is the main event for the undercard. And what we see here is the lovely ladies with a wealth of experience in the One Championship. We have Ayaka Miura taking on Jihin Radzuan. And Ayaka comes in the One Championship record with 6 wins, 4 losses, 0 no contests, 5 wins by submission, 83% finishing rate. So she's every time she's got someone in submission, it's done. You tapping out. She has a very fantastic record of numbers of attempted 56 takedowns in 10 fights. So she's very much a high level grappler, submission kind of specialist. Her last fight out, she beat Itsuki Hirata by unanimous decision. Won her first 3 fights all by submission, only losing to Jin Nan, who is the former champ, and Danielle Kelly, who is also a high-level grappling specialist. So Ayaka comes in with just a high pedigree of grappling, good submission specialist. Looks for rear naked chokes, leg locks. She just does all of it. She's just a high-level grappler. But she is going against someone who's also got very good wrestling defense in Radzuan. Her record in the One Championship currently stands at 8 wins, 4 losses, and 0 no contests, 3 wins by submission. And she's a bit of a more in terms of these two fighters, I would say Jihin has got the better hand. She's more active with the hands before she goes down to her wrestling. She's got very good wrestling defense, very wrestling good offense. One of her best attributes is her scrambles and transitioning. So when she's on the ground, she knows how to get out of tough situations by being very active with her scrambles and top game and transitioning. High-level strike, not high-level, I'll say very active striker as well. She beat Jenilyn Olslim in her last fight by sub. Also beaten Itsuki Hirata by split decision. I would tip that the stand-up game would be Jihin's favor and the wrestling will be in Ayaka's favor. I see this fight ending. I see Ayaka dominating the fight with wrestling exchanges. She's probably going to shoot for takedowns quite early. I don't think she's going to want to stand for too long because she might get pieced up. I do think they're shooting early, utilizing some judo takedowns, and they're probably doing that every single round where she's going to land it into her favor and winning it by unanimous decision, because I do think she's the more powerful wrestler there. So Ayaka's probably going to get it done and then catapulting herself up again for a potential title in the atomweight MMA. Love to hear your thoughts, but that's a very much a title eliminated between these two women, because whoever wins is most likely going to get a chance at the atomweight strap again. Excuse me, Stamp Theatex waiting in the wings there. But let's keep it moving. Our next fight sees Johan Estupinan taking on Zakaria Jamari. And what can I say about Johan Estupinan? He started his One Championship like a house on fire. 3 fights, 3 wins. 2 coming in the results of knockouts and TKOs. 67% finishing rate, beating Sean Klinmee in his last fight by TKO and Kota Omori by KO. The most staggering statistic about Estupinan is that he's got a 9.86 significant strikes per minute. This dude is throwing 10 strikes at you per minute. He's not on the back foot. He's always pushing forward, always looking for a knockout. High volume, good knockout power in those hands. And also the panda kick, you know what he always brings? He brings exciting fights every single time. He looks to finish his fights every time he goes in there. So same can be said about Zakaria. His record in the One Championship currently stands at 1 win, 2 losses, 0 no contests, 1 win by unanimous decision over Thongpoon, who's also on this fight card. Thongpoon is also, as you know, top striker. Excuse me. Zakaria, just like Johan Estupinan, a high volume striker, utilizes deep kicks, and once he gets you on the ropes, throws body shots, hooks, body shot, hooks. So this fight has got fireworks all over it. If you want to watch this fight, be prepared. Don't blink, because someone's going to get stopped very, very early, because both guys like to put people out in their fights. Both guys are knockout specialists. Who am I going to tip it to? I'm going to have to go towards the guy with the most momentum right now. And that would be Johan Estupinan. 3 wins, like I said, in the One Championship. He's looking to make it 4-0. I do think he's the more explosive guy. I do think he has a speed advantage as well. He's got to keep his hands up, because he does put himself in danger to get knocked. Excuse me. But I do think that he's going to have the speed advantage. And also, like I said, the momentum is on his side right now. And I think he's just going to get the job done and get the knockout, probably in the first round, because these fights usually don't go that long. I think he's got an average fight time of like 6 or 4 minutes. So his fights usually don't go longer than the first round. So I think he's going to get the knockout. But we move on. That's a very exciting one. The fight that takes place just before that, we see Hiroba Minowa taking on Sanzhar Zakirov. And this is also a high-level fight in the strawweight MMA. Again, whoever wins this fight is going to be setting themselves up for either number one contender, or probably get to become the one that fights number one contenders fight next, or the one that fights for the title next, depending on what happens with Bokang's fight later on the event or at the card. But how do I see this one going on? Excuse me. I think Hiroba has got quite good experience in the One Championship. He's currently 3 wins, 3 losses, 0 no contest, 3 wins by split decision, beating Lito Adiwang, Alex Silva, and Jeremy Miyado. Only lost to Jared Brooks by unanimous decision, and Bokang by unanimous decision, as well as Gustavo Bolart by split decision. All 3 of those guys have fought for the title, obviously Jared Brooks being the one that's the champion. And that just tells you where Hiroba Minowa is at in this strawweight MMA division right now. He's up there in top of the food chain. He's probably ranked number 2, 3, or 3 or 2 right now, behind Gustavo and Bokang. High-level grappler, very strong top control, very good boxing. He has good hands, but we all know his bread and butter is the wrestling. But his ability to also navigate the 3 rounds is fantastic. He knows how to get out of danger, put on the pace when it's necessary, shoot takedowns to steal rounds over opponents. And like I said, his grappling is just very, very powerful. I mean, he went toe-to-toe with the top guys, but he is taking on a very good grappler in Sanzhar Zakirov. His record in the One Championship is currently 3 wins, 0 losses, 0 no contests, 2 wins by TKO, and a high striking differential of 4 significant strikes per minute. So you know he's just going to put the hands, push the pace, which is Minowa's nightmare. He doesn't really like to box for as long as he can. He wants to obviously take it to the ground. So the reach advantage also goes in Sanzhar's advantage. And he looks to put people out. He looks to look for knockouts. That's his game. That's how he wins most of his fights. So it's a good stylistic matchup. We got the classic grappler versus striker match here. I have seen Hiroba Minowa in the past take shots and come back and win fights. He's very durable, but he's going up against a killer knockout artist. I wanted to put in Hiroba Minowa's favor. I do think he's the more experienced, the more high-level guy in the One Championship. I do think he might just be able to grapple, but the good grappling defense in Zakirov is fantastic. The longer the fight stays on the feet, the most likely Zakirov is going to get the W. But if it goes to the ground and Minowa was able to, utilize his fantastic top game and look to ground and pound and get submissions, he's probably going to win the fight over the course of 3 rounds by unanimous decision. The experience is probably going to make him win the fight by unanimous decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sanzhar gets the knockout. I'm going to go with the experience here, Hiroba Minowa over the 3 rounds and get the job done over unanimous decision. But I'm biting down on that one because I can see him getting put away by Zakirov, eh? But we keep moving. Let me know in the comments what you think about that one. All right, we're going to skip that one and go straight down to Thongpoon taking on Rui Botelho in a strawweight Muay Thai bout. Thongpoon comes into this one with a record of 4 wins, 2 losses, and 1 no contest. 3 wins by TKO or KO, 75% finishing rate, and a high striking differential of 9 significant strikes per minute. Also, just pushing the pace. Powerful strikes, very good low kicks, very good boxing. Lost to Zakaria in his last fight by unanimous decision. Beat Timur Tikov by TKO. Before that, obviously taking his loss to Zakaria, like what you spoke about, was taking on Estupinan. Thongpoon taking on his opponent is Rui Botelho. His record in the one championship is 2 wins, 6 losses, and 0 no contest, beating Zhang Paiman, the fighting rooster, by split decision in his last fight. That was a good fight. Even though it was very close, I kind of felt that Zhang Paiman kind of won it, but Rui Botelho moved it on really well. Fantastic footwork, great kickboxing, good hands. Just lost to really good fighters, Super Leg, Taika Naito. Those are really good fighters, good kickboxers, good Muay Thai specialists as well. So with Thongpoon, I think Thongpoon's probably got the power advantage. He's slightly shorter, but he's got the power advantage. Fantastic leg kicks, good boxing combination, good hands. His biggest problem in this fight is going to be dealing with the movement of Rui Botelho. I think Rui Botelho moves really well. His lateral movement is fantastic. So that's probably going to be the thing, is that Rui is not going to be a sitting target. He's going to move quite a bit. So Thongpoon's going to have to leg kick quite often to stop the movement and take away the legs of Rui Botelho. Rui Botelho is going to have to utilize that speed, throw some deep kicks in there, and sort of tire out Thongpoon, and then just in and out movements. Don't stand in the pocket for way too long, because he's probably going to get put away if he does. Thongpoon's got a very good left and right hand combination. Who I think is going to win? I think Thongpoon's probably going to get the fight done. Power and advantage. He eventually will find the chin of Rui, and when he does, I see him putting Rui Botelho out probably in the 3rd round or the 2nd round. But let me know who you think gets a double in this fight, because it is quite intriguing. Speed kickboxer versus the power striker in Thongpoon. But this fight is taking place in strawweight Muay Thai. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one. Right, and then we are going to move on to my final preview, which is the opening bout of this amazing fight night special. We see the legend Daniel Williams himself taking on Banma Duji in the flyweight MMA. Daniel Williams, his record in the championship currently sits at 3 wins, 5 losses, 0 no contest, 2 wins by KO, 3 significant strikes per minute, for a very good striking differential. His last win came over Zilang Kawahara by KO. He lost to Rodtang, Jeremy Mado, Superleg, Jonathan Diabella, and Lito Idewang, and those are also high-level guys. Rodtang, obviously, we all know he's Superleg as well. Jonathan Diabella was the former champion. All of them beat him. And also, one thing that's quite amazing about Daniel is that he's fighting in 3 disciplines. He fought most of those guys in Muay Thai and kickboxing. This fight, obviously, his last fight was also in MMA. This one is in MMA. He's going up against someone who is debuting in the One Championship, so I couldn't really find that much information on the fighter. So it's pretty much all I can really give is a good perspective on Daniel Williams, but we all know exactly what the guy is. His resume speaks for itself. I think what's amazing about this fight is just to see what Daniel Williams is going to apply, because his wrestling, I haven't really seen him wrestle. I don't know if his wrestling is that fantastic, but we do know his striking prowess is off the charts. Very good kickboxing, very good boxing, as well as Muay Thai. He's got dynamite in his hands for the flyweight division. He always packs very good power. So I look to see him, push the pace and sort of navigate the game by deep kicking quite often, maybe looking for leg kicks, try to stuff any takedowns that comes his way, sprawl very quickly, get back up to his feet if he gets taken down, and keep the fight standing and look for body shots and boxing combination, and get his opponent up against the cage, strike from that void distance, because that's where he does his best work. But good to see Daniel Williams still in the One Championship. Love to see the guy still, doing his best work. So it's a good fighter to start the fight card. But that's it me for this one. Let me know what your thoughts are on these fantastic fights. This is the one championship fight night 25, Nicolas versus Eersel 2. It's a fantastic rematch, and this will be taking place the 5th of October, Saturday at 2 a.m. South African time. I repeat that, that is Saturday, 5th of October at Lupinian Stadium, Bangkok at 2 p.m. 2 a.m. Sorry, 2 a.m. South African time. 2 a.m. South African time. Excuse me. That's the Saturday morning. Looking forward to it. And you will all also see the rest of the panel come back when we do our recap. Can't wait to have them all back. It's been a while since I've done this on my own. Looking forward to that. So yeah, everyone else, if you made it to this part of the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Love the support. We are on our way to our first 1,000 subscribers. Loving the engagement. The guys are giving us 100 likes. It's all just awesome. Loving that everyone's commenting. Keep it up. Keep up the likes. Keep up the comments. And if you like this content, looking forward to just being there with you when we watch these fights and also when we recap these fights. But on that note, stay safe, stay humble, and I will catch you on the next one. Cheers.